Hey guys, this is Eric with Pixel Rookie, and today we're going to be talking about the game series Kingdom. I'd like to give you a little history lesson on the Kingdom series leading up to the most recent installation of the game, Kingdom New Lands. Then we'll talk a little bit about what's in store for the future of this game. Okay, so let's jump back to 2013. A Flash game was released on websites like Newgrounds and it was called Kingdom. Though it was simple, it was still a pretty fun little game to play. It's a 2D, side-scrolling strategy/resource management hybrid game that has extremely simple controls. You press left or right to move, and you press a down arrow key to drop money. Easy enough, right? You drop coins by wandering vagrants to recruit them to your kingdom, and you can purchase bows for them to defend your base, or scythes for them to farm the land and build structures. The game features a day and night cycle. During the day, you recruit more people to build up your kingdom, and when night falls, the evil greed will come out to noodle your stuff. What the fuck? These guys look weird as shit. After defending your kingdom, your villagers can collect gold from farming, and you receive some coins every morning after the greed is defeated. This allows you to upgrade and build up more structures, and you can recruit more villagers. Be careful though, because every night, the greed will become stronger until eventually, you'll get overpowered and your reign will end. The Flash game was well received and was quite popular. There wasn't too much depth to it, but it had that, I'll just play for one more day, addictive fun gameplay. Okay, so now let's flash forward to October of 2015. The game Kingdom is released on Steam as a standalone game. The Flash game had decent pixel art. It was pretty enough and the animations weren't bad, but when you compare it to how the Steam game Kingdom looked, the difference is pretty significant. This game is absolutely gorgeous. If you're a fan of pixel art like me, you know, the Pixel Rookie, then you can really appreciate just how beautiful everything looks in this game. Let's take a look at a simple villager. If you look at just a screenshot of this guy, you'd think, that looks pretty basic, nothing really special here. Once you see him fully animated in the game though, he comes to life and there's so much personality to him. This spreads across the entire world of Kingdom while you're going through the fields of your cleared land, all the way through the whimsical forest exploring your surroundings. What I'm trying to say is that visually, this game is a real treat. That's just the half of it though. The game's sound effects and music are really subtle, but very fitting to the mystery that the game provides when you start playing it. I mean, take a look at this clip. See what I mean? It sets a great tone for the game, and I always feel really relaxed while playing it, even when the greed come out to try and destroy my kingdom. Okay, now that looks a little better. Goofy ass Flash game greed looked dumb as hell. Anywho, Kingdom is really fleshed out compared to its predecessor. You have builders, archers, farmers, and knights, all with different roles to help grow and protect your kingdom. Archers will hunt rabbits near the walls during the day to collect gold, and you can chase deer towards them to be hunted too. Your farmers will also work the land to obtain even more money for you to grow your kingdom. You start small and you can slowly build up your base, fortifying your walls and towers while expanding out further into the land. It's a lot of fun to watch your kingdom grow. Just like the Flash game, you live as long as you can until the greed becomes too powerful and eventually overwhelms your kingdom and your reign comes to an end. Once that happens, you start back over again and try to do better. Okay, so now we'll jump to August of 2016. Kingdom New Lands is released. This is essentially the same game as Kingdom Classic. It's more of an expansion than a sequel. New Lands has a very similar presence of the classic version, except you'll notice a lot of new features and end goals. Alright, so keep in mind that half the fun of this game is discovering the new features and upgrades on your own. The game is very vague when it comes to explaining these changes, and it's up to the player to discover them for themselves. I say this because if you've not played the game and don't want things spoiled for you, then I'd suggest not watching the rest of the video. So New Lands will start you off on smaller territory. In fact, it's an island, and the objective is no longer to simply build up your kingdom and survive. You'll soon find wreckage of a boat, and you'll spend gold. A lot of gold repairing this thing. Ultimately, you'll want to fix your ship and sail off to a new land, but that's a lot easier said than done. So by now you know every night the greed will come out to attack, right? Well, if you explore it in the woods far enough, you'll encounter portals. These portals are where the greed spawn from, so you need to take them out before you can pass certain areas. Once the path is clear, you can complete your ship's construction and begin taking it to the pier at the end of the island. Which takes a very, very, very long time. Please hurry up! Okay, so as soon as you get there, you can ship off with some of your men and go to the next island. There are a total of 5 islands that progressively get more difficult. Because each island gets more difficult than the last, it helps having better unlocks to make the journey easier. Right away, you might not find as many new things in the expansion compared to the classic version. This is because you need to unlock that content first. When you find signposts, you pay a few coins to take the paper off of it. This will unlock new content for you to discover when you get to new islands. There's only 1 sign per island, and each island has a certain amount of total unlocks. This will help with the replayability for those completionists out there. Once you start unlocking more content, the game becomes a little easier. You have new mounts like an armored horse that can buff your villagers temporarily, or a bear that can maul rabbits and deer, making hunting much easier. You'll also find shrines that you can pay gold to, which will make your archers or walls stronger. Early on, you can also free a dog, and this little guy will follow you around. It's nice because at night, he'll bark in the direction of where the greed is coming out of. You'll also find little huts where you can find a hermit that will allow you to change one of your archer towers into something different. My favorite one changes your tower into a ballista that shoots massive bolts at the greed. This really helps when you're stuck on an island for a long period of time where the greed's armies keep getting bigger and bigger. Speaking of the greed, around every 5 nights, you'll encounter Blood Moon, and be ready because that shit can get rough. The greed are extra powerful those nights, and if you're not careful, they can break through your defenses and really cause issues. You'll want to upgrade your town center completely so you can recruit knights. Knights can be sent off with a group of archers to attack the greed's portals and destroy them, clearing out the pathway for your ship. Once a portal is destroyed though, it can cause a blood moon to trigger, so you need to be careful with your timing so you don't have 2 blood moons in a row. And this is where the game can get a little tricky. You want to build up your defenses and gather as many villagers as you can. Normally they'll hunt rabbits and gather enough gold for you so you can continue to grow your kingdom, but all it takes is one night where the greed penetrate your wall and take out your army, leaving you with hardly any gold left and significantly less men. My journey got very difficult because of this. I made it to the 4th island and I became spread too thin. In fact, I thought my reign was over. All I could do was desperately try to gather as much gold as I could to build the ship and sail off. I sent a large portion of my army off to escort the ship safely, but this trip could take days. It got to the point where my entire kingdom was in ruins and the only thing I had left was my small army of men and my ship. At this point, things were not looking good. Every night, I was worried the greed would make their way to us and destroy everything I had left. Oh, shit. Whew, that was a close one. We were fortunate though. We made it to the end, and even though all hope was almost lost, we were able to sail off to the final, most difficult island. This is where I found the bear mount, and it made everything so much easier. Instead of having to chase deer into my archers, which is a huge pain in the butt by the way, I was able to hunt them on my own and quickly fill my bag of gold. This allowed me to build a flourishing kingdom that had strong defenses, and ultimately I survived whatever the greed threw at me. I led my army to the greed's portals and I cleared a path to sail away and beat the last island. It was a glorious moment for my reign as I escaped the final island and beat the game. What better way to reward the player than to give them a unicorn that shits gold every time it eats? How fucking cool is that? Honestly though, I love this game. I can sit down and play it for a few hours at a time easily. I do get tired of it after a while, but it's always fun to come back to it at a later time, especially when you already unlocked all the cool new content that New Lands has to offer. The setting in the game is what really keeps bringing me back though. The pixel art is absolutely beautiful, and the music really brings it all together. I thoroughly enjoyed my reign in New Lands, and I'm excited for what's to come next for the series. That brings us to now. There was a trailer for a new entry in the Kingdom series that was teased called Kingdom 2 Crowns. This trailer was shown for the Nintendo Switch, and right now not much is known about the game, except that it will feature a 2-player co-op mode. I'm sure there'll be even more features in this game, but just having a 2-player mode alone would make this a lot of fun for the series. There's not a release date yet for Kingdom 2 Crowns, but keep an eye out. If you haven't checked out these games though, I'd highly recommend it. It's a great way to sit back and really relax while playing a game. There's still a lot of content that I didn't cover in this video about the game, so if you want to learn all about it, go play the damn game. It's definitely worth it. If you enjoyed watching this video, check out my other videos and feel free to subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good one.